Hello Poke Freaks and welcome to my review of Pokemon Generations Episode 1. I think it's safe to say that 2016 has been the strongest year for the Pokemon franchise. Nintendo has gone all out in order to celebrate the 20th anniversary of one of their most popular franchises. They opened up the floodgates at the beginning of the year by re-releasing Red, Blue, and Yellow, the original Pokemon games on the 3DS Virtual Console, which are completely awesome and you should definitely check those out. They upped the ante with a brand new Pokemon fighting game on the Wii U Pokken Tournament. Not only that, but the Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime series is getting ready to wrap up, and I have to say that it's actually made me pay attention to the Pokemon anime this year. Not only that, but we are this much closer to the release of the 7th generation of Pokemon games, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. But Nintendo has decided to do something a little extra. The cherry on top of the kick-ass Pokemon sundae, if you will. They've decided to start releasing these animated shorts, which are known as Pokemon Generations. All the way to the very end of the year, every Friday, Nintendo is going to release a brand new 3 to 5 minute short, which is going to be all about the Pokemon universe and a lot of the key events from the games in the series. Now, this is not like the current Pokemon anime. It doesn't feature Ash or any of his friends, and it certainly features a drastic art style. Not as drastic as the one that's going to be seen in the brand new Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. The Pokemon Generations anime series is going to be celebrating some of the biggest moments from the Pokemon game series, and I'm going to review every single episode for you guys, and just give you my general thoughts on these. And why? Because I'm a big Pokemon fan. I've been playing these things since the inception of the series in America in 1998. I continue to play, and I cannot wait for Sun and Moon. So let's just go ahead and talk about Pokemon Generations Episode 1, which in many ways was sort of like the ultimate homage to everything Pokemon video games, because the entire short all revolves around the trainer of Red, who captures a Pikachu at the very beginning of the episode in Viridian Forest, and we get to follow that Pikachu as he goes from different region to different region, fighting against crazy Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, and even encountering the 100% form of Zygarde at the very end of the episode. It's really thrilling, as every single time we move to a new region, it's just an excuse to watch this Pikachu kick the shit out of really powerful Pokemon, and you get to see that it really gets strong by the end of this very first episode. I think one of my favorite things about this very first episode, though, is actually how it opens up when they use actual footage from the original Game Boy game, Pokemon Red. You actually get to see the intro with Gengar fighting against Nidorino, and then eventually you get this great scene of the trainer actually walking through Viridian Forest, and they actually show you gameplay footage of him and his Bulbasaur capturing a Pikachu. Right after this, it immediately transitions to the actual animation, where you get to see this Pikachu battling against the Caterpie in Viridian Forest. Right after that, we move to the Johto region. We go to Ecruteak City, where you see this Pikachu running away from a group of Wooper, where it then attacks them with a big flurry of lightning. Right after that, we move on to the Weather Institute in the Hoenn region, with a great sequence of the Pikachu battling against a Vigoroth on this massive bridge, which is starting to crumble as a Latios and a Latios happen to watch in the distance as both Vigoroth and Pikachu have to run across this bridge before they actually fall into a deadly chasm. Right after that, we go to a scene with Pikachu fighting against a Probobass, and then eventually being confronted by a Regigigas of all things. My favorite sequence from the episode, without a doubt, is when Pikachu goes to the Relic Cave, where he confronts a Volcarona. This is, to me, I think, one of the coolest scenes from this episode, mostly just because the action was so incredibly explosive and unique. What I really loved about it is that they really are paying attention to what they do in the games and sort of having some fun with it. Like the fact that the Volcarona tries to hit Pikachu with a Heat Wave attack, but Pikachu uses Iron Tail to actually hit this giant piece of stone, which flips up and acts as a shield for him to jump in front of, and then hit this thing point blank with a wild charge, which sends the Volcarona slamming into the wall, only for Pikachu to be attacked seconds later by a frickin' Landorus. Then things get all Temple of Doom on us when we go to the Terminus Cave with Red riding through these minecarts and having to dodge the attacks from this massive Noivern, with Pikachu running across the walls, jumping off of them, and hitting it with his massive electrical attacks. And then it all ends with Red and Pikachu actually encountering the 100% form of Zygarde, which, yes, is different from the games. We technically have not had any access to this form of Zygarde quite yet, but it is going to play an important role in the upcoming Sun and Moon, so basically this is sort of a teaser for that. But I'm not even going to complain, because the visuals are just so damn sexy. This was some great looking Pokemon animation, and the action scenes looked fantastic. I do have to admit, though, it is a little strange, the fact that Pikachu doesn't really sound like the typical Pikachu that we're used to, although we have to remember that this is not the anime version. This is not the Pikachu from the current anime series that's been traveling with Ash for the last 20 years. No, this is simply just a random Pikachu which was caught in Viridian Forest. And I kind of like the fact that a lot of these Pokemon just have normal grunts and they sound just like normal monsters or creatures or things that you would find in the wild. Really, it's only the traditional Pokemon anime series where you have the Pokemon actually saying their names. So I really have no problems with this. It's very similar to what they did in Pokemon The Origin, which in many ways, this is kind of like the spiritual successor to that, because even before Pokemon X and Y came out, that's when they decided to do the Pokemon Origin Special, which was basically just building a lot of hype for the brand new game. Pokemon Generations is celebrating the entire game series, as well as building hype for the upcoming Sun and Moon, and I think it's doing a pretty damn good job at that. If you're looking for some cool, awesome anime action from your favorite Pokemon characters, and you just want a big bite of nostalgia, then I highly recommend checking out the Pokemon Generations animated shorts. They're really fun, they're really short, and they're really just going to make you reflect on the amazing, awesome Pokemon franchise. I loved the first episode, and I highly recommend it to Pokemon fans. If you guys have not seen it and you would like a link to that video, make sure to check it out in the description box below so you can watch that video, and please tell me what you thought about the very first episode of Pokemon Generations. Did you have a favorite scene from this episode? Did you not like this animation? What do you want to see from the rest of the Pokemon Generations episodes? Are there anything from the games that you specifically want to see? And who is your favorite Pokemon? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I truly appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and check out all of the cool links we got in the description box below, like our weekly podcast show, The Powerful Nerdcast. It's pretty freaking life-changing. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!